right, ladies and gentlemen, guess what evening this is? I bet y'all can guess. It's our great senior evening. This evening, we have 7 seniors, and our first senior is number 41, Mark Gerges. He's played for Winter Park for 2 years. He's been on the varsity 2 years. Of course, he's in the goal. His dad is Ehab, his mom is Dina, and his brother is Oliver. His future plans are to play D1 soccer and study sports business management and finance. His favorite memory at Winter Park is, his favorite soccer memory for the Winter Park High School team would have to be in my junior year when we played against Seminole in regional semifinals. We were winning and we conceded a goal in the final few seconds, which resulted in us going to penalty. The whole week leading up to the game, we did penalty shootouts at the end of practice, and I'd always volunteer to take the 5th shot. So when we went to penalty shootouts, the coaches looked at me and told me I'd go on. We were tied 4-4 in penalty shootouts, and then I saved the 5th shot. As I was walking to the side, all the players and coaches started shouting at me to take it. I went up to take the 5th shot, just like I did all week in practice, and I scored it, and we went through to the regional finals. And his famous Winter Park coach sayings or phrases are, we were playing a regular season game against Cypress Creek in my junior year, and we lost 1-0. After the game, the other team went into the change room, and we could hear them celebrating and banging, and Tom looked at us and said, quote, "See, that's what it means to beat Winter Park," unquote. Advice for future Winter Park High School soccer players: don't be scared to step up and lead when the team needs it the most. It doesn't matter if it's your first year with the team or your 4th. You never know when you'll be called on for those big moments, and just be ready for it. Special thanks too. I'd like to start off by thanking God for all the blessings He's given to me. I'd like to also thank my parents for all the sacrifices they've made for my brother and I to achieve our dreams. They've always been there for me and always supported me no matter how far away they were. My mom just came a few hours ago from Canada because she didn't want me to walk out on my own. And I know my dad's watching the live stream in Canada. I'd like to also thank my brother, who has been with me since day one. We've always shared the field together, and the last 2 years have been really tough not being able to play with you. I can't wait to have you back on the field showing people our special twin connection. Finally, I'd like to say thank you to all the teammates and the whole coaching staff who helped me settle in very quickly. It wasn't easy at first, but they trusted me at the biggest moments to get the job done and gave me a chance to show them what I could. All right, on to senior number 2, which wears the number 3, Colin Lee. Colin's played for Winter Park 4 years. He's been on the varsity 2. He's played striker and center back. His parents are Andy and April Lee. His future plans are he's waiting on a few college decisions to come out next month to decide where he's going to attend next year. His favorite soccer memory at Winter Park, my favorite soccer memory is, it would be scoring 2 goals against Boone to come back and win last week at the homecoming game, and going to Tijuana with the boys after the game. This year in general has stood out because I was able to switch positions from center back to go play striker, which has been really fun. His famous Winter Park coach sayings are, quote, "We all have friends," unquote. Nolan's famous words, whatever it takes. Advice for future Winter Park High soccer players, my advice would be to cherish the moment because time flies. I still feel like yesterday we were freshmen destroying every other JV team. Also, do not date your teammates. Sisters shootout to Jake and Sergio. Special thank you goes to, I'd like to thank God for giving me the opportunities I've been given. I want to thank my mom, dad, and two sisters, Claire and Charlotte, for pushing me to be my best and sacrificing their time and coming to watch my games. Also, I want to thank coaches Tom, Barry, Stephen, James, and T. I want to thank the boys on the team because I couldn't have asked for anything more than playing with my best friends. A special thank you goes to Owen for sacrificing his college future to play in our Boone game. All right, on to senior number 3, wearing the number 28. Always a big presence out there. Antoine Ariza. He's been playing for Winter Park on varsity for 2 years. He's been a right wing, and his parents' name are Felicia and Benito. His future plans are to go to college, get a welding degree, good job, like that, and continue to play soccer. His favorite soccer memories at Winter Park, playing against Seminole last year and scoring the penalty to tie the game up. And in my sophomore year, scoring an absolute banger from half field against Lake Howe. Famous Winter Park coach sayings or phrases, quote, spazoids, unquote. Quote, put in a bloody tackle, unquote. Quote, stop chatting, unquote. Advice for Winter Park High School soccer players, be yourself, be confident, and know that it's okay to make mistakes. Special thanks go to all his friends I've made in the past 3 years being at Winter Park. It's been full of laughter and joy. Coach Barry and Tom, thank you for showing me that going that extra mile matters in the end. And to my parents, thank you for supporting me on my journey playing soccer, for always pushing me to try my best in everything. Thank you for giving up your evenings and weekends to come see me play. All right, on to senior number 4, and he wears the number 5. Robbie Mendez. And he's been at Winter Park playing for 4 years. He's been on the varsity for 1. His position is wherever coach feels like putting me. Great spot. Parents' names are Barbara and Fernando. And his future plans are to study finance at Notre Dame or go play for Barcelona. I don't know yet. I'm still deciding. His favorite soccer memory at Winter Park is his freshman year when Owen kneed me in the groin area during practice because he found out that the girl he liked thought I was cute. It's crazy to think how we have grown from that to become good friends. Also, the honorable mentions of Ian crushing a can with his head at the banquet, the dinners after practice, and of course, the, quote, we want Robbie, unquote, chant at the homecoming game. And a famous Winter Park coach sayings are, nice guys don't finish first. That's by Tom. And then woo, Nolan before every game. And his advice for future Winter Park soccer players, be brave and work hard to continue the legacy of this program. Special thank you goes to his parents, siblings, and extended family for supporting me in all my years of playing soccer. And to all my brothers who have played with me over the years, who have made memories with me that I will never forget. on to senior number 5. We're the number 15, and that's Isaac Cole. He's played varsity 1 year. He's been at forward and winger. His parents' name are Uraima Cole and Javier Cole. His future plans are to play soccer on college level. His favorite soccer memory at Winter Park, learning more things than what I used to know and getting better overall as a player. His famous Winter Park coach sayings or phrases: don't lose because of overconfidence. Advice for future Winter Park High School soccer players: always try your best and be there for the team. His special thanks go to all his coaches and teammates for helping him every day. All right, senior number 6, wearing the number 10, Jake Joyce. He's played for Winter Park 4 years. He's been at forward and midfield. His parents are Sherry and Bob. His future plans are to play soccer at Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, D2, and study communications. His favorite soccer memory at Winter Park is, oh man, there's a lot. Getting revenge on Plant City was probably the best moment I've had so far. We got to travel down on a nice coach for the game, and I was eating Chex Mix on the bench because I thought I wouldn't play. Yet somehow I ended up on the field for 8 minutes. My stomach hurt so bad, but I loved it. Then towards the end of the game, Corey Mitchell had a blood stain on his shirt and needed to use mine for the remainder of the game. And then on the way back, we ended up getting stuck at McDonald's on Coach Crouch's wedding anniversary. An incredible sequence of events that I'll never forget. I hope this isn't too long, and here we go with some more. Also, being crowned homecoming king during halftime of last week's homecoming game versus Boone. The crown inspired me to go ahead and get these same winning assists. It was awesome having all of my friends and family there. And, of course, getting revenge on Boone. His famous Winter Park coach's phrases or sayings are, Tom used to tell me before the games, play the game, not the occasion. Also, one time I heard him say, every team needs a Stephen. I thought that was brilliant. It is very important to have a water boy, ball boy like him. His advice for future Winter Park High School soccer players: trust the process. It isn't always easy not getting on the field every minute, but you will grow to love this team and love playing for the badge. And make sure you play your heart out for every second of every game. That's what NQND is all about. His special thanks go to his mom, dad, and Gabby, my dog, Rhodey, Ita, Sophia, and coaches Tom, Barry, Crouch, Teague, Stephen, and James, and everyone who helps to support us. And last of your seniors, and certainly not least, comes up the special number 13. And that's Owen Armour. He's been at Winter Park for 4 years. He's played on the varsity for 3. He's been at center back. His parents are Tori Armour and Marcia Martinez. His future plans are, I hope to play collegiate soccer and after that become a Winter Park JV coach. His favorite soccer memory at Winter Park: my favorite memory was last year beating Seminole in penalties at Seminole in the regional semifinal and scoring the game-tying goal. His famous Winter Park coach sayings or phrases: my favorite saying Coach Tom says all the time is, quote, Owen, You are so tall and muscular. You are probably the best Winter Park player we have ever had and are definitely better than Cole Colado. Unquote. Also, Tanaka saying, quote, "We all have friends," unquote. Advice for future Winter Park soccer players. My advice for you guys is enjoy your years being a Wildcat because they are gone before you know it. And always remember there is no offside on throw-ins and to never quit, never die. The special thanks go out to Cole Colado and his mom for always being my #1 fan. My dad for filming all my games and pushing me to be my best. Maddie for coming to my games even though she'd rather be hanging out with Macy. Jake for being my best friend through thick and thin. Colin for always having my back. Robbie for always being able to make me laugh. Mark for being the coolest and nicest Canadian anyone could ever meet. Nate for being my right-hand man, pound RSG. Felipe for being a baller. Stephen for being the best hugs. Nolan for always giving 100%. Unknown Shooter for always looking out for me. Sergio for being the coolest sophomore. Matthias for having a cool name. Devin for having the best hair on the team. Antoine for always pushing me to be better. All my friends on and off the field. All my coaches over the years making me the player I am today. Rocky JP for being my biggest inspiration. And finally, you didn't say that, did you? The best commentator in the world. Really? Me? Frank? Great job, guys. Now we have a few special additions here by the one and only, your one and only, Tom Traxler.
Hey, Frank, you are the best announcer. I think you set this up too good. I'm not going to sing or anything. I think everybody thought it was going to be something extra special, but I'm not going to do that. But I do have some remarks to read. I tried this many years ago, and it went horribly. I ended up a mess, and like most people, I don't remember my mistakes, so I'm going to try it again. I just want to say good evening to everyone and welcome to our annual senior night, or as we the coaches refer to it, as the night we least look forward to. Tonight is a night that we can't decide if we're happy or sad. It's always sad to say goodbye to a group of guys that you've shared so many experiences and triumphs with over 4 years. On the other hand, we might be happy because they can also frustrate a coach to no end, like thinking their left foot is better than their right foot. It isn't, Jake. No, in all seriousness, we are happy because we get to see these gentlemen take bigger steps into a brighter future for each of them. Tonight, in some ways, is very fitting end as you play your final contest here at Showalter Field. During this unprecedented time in our history, we've all had to make constant adjustments to our lives to make things work. We have at all some point in time had to rely on our family and friends for help and support. This morning, we received word that our opponent for tonight's match, Ocoee High School, discovered they had a player or players contract a COVID virus and were forced to cancel their participation tonight. So we made adjustments. We've had to turn to our family for help and support. And I know with everyone's help here tonight, we're going to make a senior night to remember. And that's thanks to everyone here tonight. Thank you very much. Guys, I just want to say, tonight is also for your parents. At some point in time, I want you to take the time to thank them, because they've had to sacrifice for you, and that's been through all the years as you've gotten to this point where you're going to be a senior. And I want to thank them for their dedication to you and for turning out such fine young gentlemen that it's been truly our pleasure to coach. Jake, Owen, Mark, Colin, Robbie, Antoine, and Isaac, we as your coaches want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for all your time, commitment, desire, and effort. We want to thank you for playing through the pain, for your patience, and for making sure that under your watch, the Winter Park High School boys soccer team continued its winning tradition, and for upholding the values of never quit, never die, and NFP. But mostly for us to lead you, and for allowing us to be a small part of one of your life's biggest journeys. You as a group have been a part of some of the truly amazing seasons. You've contributed to 3 Metro Conference titles, 3 district titles, a run to the regional final in each of the past 2 seasons, not to mention the greatest JV season ever last year, an undefeated season where no goals were conceded. You've also finished this season with the fewest losses of any team in over 14 years. Isaac, even though this was your first season with us, you've provided us with some great moments. During the first game this season against Colonial, we brought you on in the second half of the match. I remember talking with you about how we have seen your ability at training, but you need to do those same things in a game. Well, you sure did. You came on and you had a hat trick in almost 20 minutes. Well done. Very proud of you, Isaac. Robbie, easily you've got the biggest crowd support of any player I recall here at Winter Park. We'll always remember you at the back of that undefeated, unscored on JV team. You were a massive part of the achievement, and you've shown all the commitment we look for in our Winter Park players. It's truly been a pleasure to work with you over the last 4 years. You are clearly very popular at school, as well as in last week's game. Coming, the crowd were chanting your name. We never forget that. Congratulations, Robbie. Antoine, we've enjoyed watching you get better and better with each passing season. This year, you've become a relied upon member of this team, and your ability and creativity have provided a much needed attacking presence to the squad. We'll always remember the goal you scored last year against University. It sticks out in our minds as probably one of the best created goals that we've ever had here in our time at Winter Park. You'll always remember, pal. Well done. Mark, my favorite Canadian. You've also provided leadership for this team, a calm, sure, and steady presence in goal. You've given us a memory we'll never forget, one that you've already mentioned, and it's not likely to ever repeat itself. We talked about how you provided that 1-2 knockout punch to Seminole High School in the regional semifinal last year. Never seen a goalkeeper save a penalty, then take and score the very next penalty to end the game. In fact, Cole's dad still hasn't seen it, because he thought Barry and I were mad geniuses and put Devin in goal. Colin, you have been a great rallying force for this year's team. You followed a great group of players that we hold in high regard, like Ben Landerman, Christian Colling, John Masnick, in that you put together a great senior season. This year, you provided strength at both ends of the pitch, and we'll always remember your 2-goal performance from last week's game against Boone, where you came up with both goals in the second half to propel us to a 2-1 win. We also love your hard tackles and words of encouragement to the opposing player that you leave lying on the ground. In that very same Boone game, after one of your strong challenges, you offered encouragement to the opposing player by saying, "Get up, you person." I think you said person. It was person, right? I could be wrong. Maybe I was hearing, I think it was person. But we love the tackles. Keep it going, and thank you very much. Jake, you have stepped up into a leadership role this season. and been a spark that has ignited our offense. You won Homecoming King this year, and that's something we've never had in our 14 seasons. We're also proud that you will be going to play at Embry-Riddle next year. Very proud of that accomplishment for you. And by the way, your left is still not as good as your right. Owen, from the first season, we knew you were cut from our cloth. You are brave, strong, and great on headers, both on the ball and Oviedo players. You've scored some great goals off corners. Still waiting for one this season. But we know it's coming. The one that bundled across against East River doesn't count. But when you came into our Christmas gathering a few years back as a freshman and sat at the table with our alumni, we knew you were for us. So there is one senior not here tonight. And as you've heard, and in the words of, I guess, the immortal Eduardo Tinoco, we all have friends. Well, indeed we do. As coaches, we consider each of you friends. We hope to see you often, and as we do with all our other alumni, we get excited to catch up with you and hear how well you're doing. You know, this is your program. You've fought for it, you've given your all for it, you've won for it. We're always here for you as you've been there for us. Who knows? Owen, Isaac, Antoine, Mark, Jake, Robbie, Colin. Maybe you'll be like T, James, or Steven. Join us one day in coaching the team you used to play for. We'd welcome that. I started this message to you not knowing if on this night we were happy or sad. Two very different emotions. I think tonight, for the fact that we will miss you in the seasons to come, for all the memories you've given us, and for the promise of your tomorrow, we will not choose. We will be both happy and sad. From your friends. Thank you. I think now we'll come together and take a big picture. Come on in.